what I'm trying to do here actually. Here we have an error mark. Okay, this will help you to see what is the system, what is client and all. Okay, our first task is creating a program, right? So now I will show you how to create a program. So to create a program, we need to go to SE38 T code. Okay, SE38. Okay, so SE38 is a T code where we can create our own program, ABAP editor. Okay, to practice ABAP code and to practice a small program. If you write small programs now, it becomes we become familiar on writing code. So here I'm going to create a small program called G test underscore. Let's say take medid. Okay, G test underscore medid, and by default the first area button will be selected. Source code. Keep it like that, and click on create. Okay, test program. Okay, this is our demo program. Okay, test program, let it be like this. So we have to give the description initially and then followed by the type. So our program is currently of type executable program, okay, which can be executed on its own. So we need to select executable program. That's it. Give the description of the program and then click on execute program, executable program. Select this type and then click on save. It will ask you to provide some package, and you know, right, if I want to transport to other system, then I have to give some package here. But if I my developments want to be on my own system, then I can save it on a local object also. Okay, select the local object, then you will get this screen. So now we are in the report, means program name. Okay, report, we will call it as a report. So this is our program name, gtestmedid. Okay, and currently it is an inactive version. Okay, and this is the initial keyword. So for every program there will be initial line, report is a keyword, and followed by the report or program name. Okay, so we need to keep this line like this. We are not supposed to delete or modify this line. Okay, report followed by the program name is the default initial line for every program. Okay, I am just activating this just to show you. So while activating, what I am getting, so I'm getting other things also in my screen. These are all inactive programs which are currently available in my system, maybe on the same user. See, username is ban, we logged in with ban, right? Maybe earlier someone logged with ban and they tried to create some programs and they not it activated it. So that's why we are seeing these lines. So in this case, don't select any other line. You should select only your line, because you know this is your program. So you have to activate your program only. If you select any other, that program will also try to activate, and if it is having some errors, then you have to correct those in order to activate it. Okay, so don't select any other. By default our program will be selected. Keep it like this only, and then click on tick mark. Okay, see, now it got changed to active mode. Whenever you press enter or something, whenever you do some writing trying to code, automatically again it will comes to inactive state. Or when you try to save something, then again program comes to inactive. By activating it, it will goes to again active state. Okay. Hmm. So now creating a program was finished. Okay, our first topic, creating a program, I shown you just now. Okay, it's clear. Next, doing writing write keyword. So what is this write keyword? Let's go to our program and just write keyword. Okay, we can write in capital letters or we can write in small letters also. Anything is fine. So write is a keyword which is used to print something on the console. Console means output screen. Okay, like how we have in command prompt, the console, right? Command prompt, we call it as a console. Same way, our program also, when we execute it, it will show some console. So that is the output screen actually. So write command followed by the colon symbol. See, this is the colon symbol. So now I need to write some code. For example, hello. Hello world is one of the best word, right? All programs use hello world. So hello world is a string. Since it is a string, I am keeping the string in single quotes. So any constant. So this is a static word, right? It is not any variable, something like this. It's a static word. So whenever I type some string, then I need to prefix with under single quotes. So that's why hello world was written between single quotes, and every line should end with the dot. Okay, full stop. We can call it as a. So write keyword followed by double colon, because it's the keyword. It should be followed by the double colon symbol, and then I written a string called hello word, and I, since it is a string type, I prefixed like I kept in between single quotes and ended this line with a full stop. Okay, now try to activate this. So whenever I try to activate, I will get this symbol window, and currently my program will be highlighted. So I just click on OK. Done. It now object. See, every time we need to check the below status of the program also. See, objects activated. So it means no issue, no errors came. And we can see the state of my program also active. So when it is in active version, I can execute the program. So this is the symbol which looks execute. Okay, when I click on our direct processing, and there is a shortcut key also there, F8. So if I click on this execute button, now see, now I am calling this as a console or an output screen. So test program is my program name, and this is also my program name, and hello world is my output. Okay, since I written this write command, so whatever I'm passing to the write command, that is coming as an output on my console or output screen. Is it clear so far?
Srinivas.
Okay, Andy.
Yeah, Srinivas, it was clear.
Very good. So by writing this write command is very important, because when we are writing a program, it's a small program or a complex program. So we always test whenever we are, for example, even if we have 1,000 lines of program, we start with one or two lines only, right? So on every completion of one piece of work, we need to write some out commands, and we need to check whether it is successful or not. Okay, so write command is very useful and going forward. So now our second point, write keyword is finished. Next, going to data types. So now let's see what are the different data types. Remove this one. Okay. So data types. So in ABAP we have many data types, but we are not going to learn all data types on the initial phase itself. So let's try to start with the starting one, integer. Okay, integer data type. So how to define this integer data type? So here also, whenever in ABAP programs, we create variables, okay, to store a local value. So let's go to an Excel sheet and see an example first, and then let's come back to the program. Okay, I want to do my task. Okay, addition of two numbers. Addition of two numbers. As the I is missing, right? Okay, addition of two numbers. So whenever I say addition of two numbers, what I need initially, I have to take 10 is one my number, another number is 20. Let's take it. Okay, when I add these two, my output is 30. Okay, to in order to, for example, this is my own doing. I am doing it. So if system wants to do it, then what I have to do, I need to pass two inputs to user come to my computer, and computer will perform this addition, and it will provide my output, right? So in order to pass these two inputs to system, so I need to create two variables in my system. Okay, variable one and variable two. Okay, what I'm using, variables. Okay, variables are local, like a placeholders to save some value. Okay, now in order to perform this operation of addition of two numbers, what I need to do, I should have at least two variables to save two different values, and after saving this value to store the output, I may need the say third variable. Okay, I may or may not need, because if without saving it somewhere, I can print it on the output screen, or first I will save the output on a variable, and then I will print it on the output screen. Okay, now you understand it, right? So to say, in order to perform addition of two numbers, what I need, initially I need two variables to save these two input values. Okay, Now coming to this, so since addition of two numbers of type integer, it means I'm going to add two integer numbers. Okay, what is the difference between integer and a decimal? So integer numbers are always a rounded fields, numbers, and decimal fields having one or two decimals or more than two decimal places. Okay, so this 10 and 20 are integer types. Now let's see how we can write this program in our ABAP side. Okay, so to define here what I told, we should need two variables to save two values that we are going as an input. So in order to define a variable, what keyword we use? We use data. Okay, data is a keyword to define a variable. Okay, data variable, LV, local variables. Okay, so let's try to keep this in practice. Okay, all local variables are written with the LV. Okay, LV means local variable underscore, let's say LV underscore first underscore num. So this is my variable name. LV means local variable. Since I have to add two numbers, so first number, so first underscore num, or LV underscore, I can take if it is a big one, a LV underscore a plus b I want to see, so LV underscore a. And this is of type, what type? Integer. Okay, I can give I, comma, LV underscore b, type I. Let's click on check mark. So what is this check mark? So check mark is this check button is very important. Okay, why? Because whatever code we written, we are checking whether it is syntactically correct or not. Okay, now I have one L underscore a field. I define two variables. So till this point, did I written, is my code written correct or not? This particular check button is telling what it is telling here: no syntax error found in report. So it means everything is correct. For example, instead of giving this variable name LV underscore a, I given LG space a. See, then what happened? It is showing in red color. It means there is something error that what you written typing here. Okay, because variable name should not contain any spaces. Okay, it is an alphanumeric, and underscore also I can use here, but not spaces. Okay, so that's the reason it is giving red color. So if we, for example, integer, if I give an int here, and let's click on check button. See, because in some of the programming languages, instead of writing I, they write a complete integer also. Okay, if you are having experience of writing something different, see, integer also it is accepting, but int it is not accepting it. Okay, whenever you click on check button, it will tell int is unknown. So int 8 is there, but there is no int. So check button tells us whether the code whatever we are writing is correct or not. Okay, so integer can be defined with the symbol I. So till this, what I written, just I defined two variables, LV underscore a, LV underscore b, and both of type integer. So integer is defined with the symbol I. Clear so far? And to save my output,
Yes, yes.
LV underscore c, type I. So this LV underscore c is nothing but my output column, or what I can say LV underscore output. I can write in this way also, this variable. Okay, so this is the way how I define a variable in ABAP. Okay, and just this is the common definition. Okay, here two things are there. Here I written data and followed by colon, and I written a variable, and I ended the line with comma. Earlier I said I have to end it with full stop, right? Okay, if I ended with full stop and if I click on check mark, then I will get an error. Why? Because this statement is don't know, because here I am telling this is a local variable of type I. When I given full stop here, then the statement was finished. Now system don't know what is this LV underscore b. Again I need to write data here, data keyword, in order to tell to the system saying this LV underscore b is another variable declaration. Okay, but writing data multiple times is difficult for us, right? So that's the reason what we do. We simply separate each variable declaration by comma, and we continue writing until our declaration part is completed. Okay. Pretty printer is one of the other command or command given here, not command, I think functionality. Okay. So when we click on pretty printer, what will happen? Our program will be structured properly. For example, if you see LV underscore A is here, LV underscore B is here. So these are not aligned properly. Hmm? So which whenever when we see this type of alignment, the code won't look good, like look and feel is not good. Okay. So to make it in correct manner, now we use pretty printer. But see, when I click on pretty printer, what you are getting here, it was not formatting. So, and below also I'm getting formatting was not executed because it is switched off in the settings. Hmm? So it is telling it is switched off in the settings, so formatting was not completed. Okay. So let's see what settings of this pretty printer. Go to environment. Okay. Sorry, go to utilities, go to go to settings. Okay. Go to utilities, go to settings. Under settings, you can see this pretty printer. Under ABAP editor tab, you can have a pretty printer tab, sub tab. Here we need to select indent. Okay. And uppercase, lowercase, and keep it as a lowercase, uppercase. Keyword uppercase. This is the best setting, what I feel. So press check this indent tab and check this the second keyword also, upper and lowercase. Here what we are telling, keyword uppercase. So let's see what is this means. Okay. Now here type is a keyword. Okay. The blue color whatever I can see here, all these are keywords. Okay. And 1 second, let me go to again utilities. Here editor, workbench, not workbench, screen painter, not this one, text length 20. Mm, 20, 20, 20. There is one more setting, I don't know where it is. Not here, not here. Okay, I will come to that point. So you see the keyword here, keyword, all blue color icon items are keywords. So this keyword is in small letters, but the setting what we did, keyword uppercase. Now if I click on pretty printer, now see all keywords turned into capital letters, and see the variables all come under one alignment. Okay. Now it is looking a little bit good, right? So all keywords in capital letters and all other words in the small letters. So variable, if I define variable in capital letter also, when I click on pretty printer, see this, I given capital A here. When I click on pretty printer, now that it will be turned into small letters, because on pretty printer I defined it in that way. So now till what we are done with creating variables. Okay, just a second. Somewhere one place there is a place where I can change the font of this screen, but here only somewhere it is there. One black color. Here somewhere edit sounds, options, font settings, 20. let's see. Let's activate this once. Okay. Let's go one step. Let me log in again into this system. 7.4. Welcome. 1, 2, 3. SC38. Maybe change. But this is same, right? Okay, okay. This setting here. This is the setting actually. Here I can change this font and color settings. So here when I write type something, you can change. 10 is 10, right? If I give 20 here, save. See, now it is bigger. And let me activate this and change back our settings to normal. Yes, here I changed some settings here. Options, font. Here I changed the settings to 20. Let me change, put back it to 12. Okay, apply. Okay. Now your screen is same, but when you see this one, this is will be a little bit bigger. This is fine, right? At least you can see what I'm typing here and everything clearly.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So where you can find it, when you go to this little small screen, there is a see, this is the one. If you want to change it now, just go here. Okay, when on
Okay.
your ABAP screen, this is the one. If you click on it, then setting will come here. If you change the length of font, then automatically it will be revert back to whatever font you need. Okay.
Okay.
What happened? Connecting server issue. Okay, fine. Even I make it bold also, bold does not looks good. That's fine. Okay, data lv underscore a type I, lvb type I. So till now what I'm done with just creating 3 variables. Now variable creation is done. So whenever a variable got created, it is of type what type? Integer type, right? So let's see. I didn't assign till now. I didn't assign any value to it. I have a variable, but I didn't given any input to the variable. So at this point of time, let's see what is saved in this variable. Okay. So to see that, what I can do, I can create a write statement here. I'm writing a write statement. I'm printing the variable lv underscore, passing the variable lv underscore a. So now what system will do? System will print the value saved under this local variable lv underscore a. Okay, I'm clicking on check mark, so no syntax errors. I'm activating it and then click on execute. See, 0. So by default, whenever we define a variable, the default value of a variable is 0. Okay, now how to assign a variable value? Lv underscore a is equal to 10. I'm giving 10. Okay, now lv underscore b is equal to 20. Since these are integers, okay, because of integers I am not including this between single quote. Okay, remember, only because of integers I am not including the values within the single quotes. Apart from integer, most of other things we always keep in single quotes. Okay, now lv underscore output is equal to lv underscore a plus lv underscore b. Okay, right, I will explain because so much is there to understand here. lv underscore output. Now let's say click on check mark. So no syntax errors. I'm activating it. I'm clicking on execute. Now see, I got 30 as a output. So now let's try to understand how I written. So these two statements are clear, right? lv underscore a is equal to 10, lv underscore a is equal to 20. Here also there are so many points are there to understand. If you observe my code clearly, I've written variable name followed by space. Okay. If I remove space and if I click on check mark, let's see what system does. LV underscore A is equal to is not defined. So if I am removing space, then what system is doing? System is considering this entire string as one word. Okay. So all that's why always it is important to give spaces between whenever writing something, we should give space in between everything. Okay. LV underscore A is a variable. So after this, give space followed by equal to. Equal to is an assignment operator, and again give space. For example, if I remove space here, let's see system is throwing an error. See, equal to missing. So in order to understand this equal to operator, this equal to operator should be having some space between and after. Clear so far? So LV underscore where A is a variable, give space, write equal to, again give space, and then write 10. Okay. Same I did in the here also. And when I'm doing A plus B also, see output variable followed by space and then equal to followed by space and then my variable name followed by again space and then plus operator followed by space and then I given my B operator. Okay. A plus B, and ended this line with full stop, and then I written my write command. Even after write command also, it is better to have this space. So here, say no error here, but it is always good to have space after write also. Give the output variable name followed by the full stop. If I click on check button, no issues, activated, and then I click on execute. Clear so far? Mhm. So when you start writing code, when you start writing code on your own, then you get to know all these issues. Because if you don't know about this space here, then you simply type like this, right? LV underscore A equal to 10. You feel like you are writing correctly, but syntactically it is not correct because every time we need to give some spaces in between. Clear? So when you get to know this, when you start writing code on your own on system, then you get to know all these issues. Okay. So you get as many as errors you will get, that much you can learn. Okay. Any questions so
Okay.
far?
Yeah, no question.
Okay. Ramanjulu, is it clear for you, for you also? Okay, fine. So, and when you learning now, just since you people are experienced people, don't think like I already know this, so no need to listen. Because sometimes you may hear something you don't know earlier. Okay, it may helps you in better learning part. Okay, so I'm activating it now. I will try to debug this program and show you how line by line it was executing. Okay, so I am going one step back here, and we have an option called execute in debugging mode. Okay, execute in debugging mode. When we execute the code in debugging mode, this time also our code is executing. So whatever code we are writing, that is executing. Okay, we can talk this later if you may feel confused. Okay, I'm clicking on execute debugging mode button, execute debugging. So when I click on this execute debugging, so what will happen? So my program execution started, and currently my cursor is at what position? Starting position of my program. I said now report is a keyword which shows the starting position of my program. Okay. This yellow cursor is nothing but the pointer. Currently my pointer is at the starting position of my program and nothing was executed. And in this debugging screen, these are different desktops. Okay. Desktop 1 shows my coding screen and other parameter evaluation screen, and desktop 2 also shows the same but different pattern. So desktop 3, I prefer desktop 3 because I can see two different screens, left side and right side. On left side I can see my code, on right side I can have a bigger screen to evaluate my local key to my parameters. Okay, so currently my program, my cursor in my program is at line number 8, which is starting of my program. Okay, now we need to move this cursor step by step. then the program code will start to execute. Okay, now how to move further now from this screen. um, Before moving further, so first thing is we can evaluate the variables here. So how we can evaluate? So lv underscore a is a local variable, right? If I double click on this variable, then double click, okay, double click on this variable, then what will happen? That variable will be added to my variable screen here. Okay, right side I have a screen, right? Here it was added. And what you are seeing here you are seeing the variable name, and currently what is the value saved in this variable. So by default it is 0. Okay, and it is hexadecimal value, and here it is telling the data type also. So it is of technical type length I, sorry, type I integer. Okay, that is enough for us as of now. Now if I click on double click on lv underscore b, so this is another variable and it is also having initial value as 0, and output is my third variable which is also having initial value as 0. Okay, and now see carefully. Currently my cursor is at line number 8, and here on the top we have three icons. One is single step, execute, and return, continue. So we have four different icons: single step, execute, return, and continue. For now, let's see about the first symbol, single step, and we can have a shortcut also, F5. Okay, now I am pressing F5. Now when I press F5, see how the cursor is jumping here from which line to which line. Currently it was at line number 8. When I press F5, it went to line number 14. Okay, why it didn't went to line number 10? In 10, 11, 12 also I have a code written, but it just doesn't stop at 10, 11, 12, but directly jumped into 14. So what is the reason here? Because this 10, 11, 12 are not executable statements. Okay, these are declaration statements, so there is nothing to do here. Okay, our cursor always moves to executable statements. So here assignment is one of the executable statement. A equal to B, I am assigning something, so which program system is performing some action, right? So our cursor moves only to those type of statements. Okay, it won't stop at declaration statements. So now my cursor is at here, and currently if you see, still my local variable lv underscore a is having value 0 only. It means even though my cursor is at line number 14, it was not yet executed this line. Clear? It is showing line number 14 means it is at 14. It is not yet completed executing line number 14. Okay, now if I press F5, then see, now lv underscore where is having 10. It means it is completed this line and it assigned 10 value to my local variable lv underscore a. Clear so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now next is F5 one more time. So LVB also is having value now. Now LV underscore output. Now this line is not yet executed. Now what is the here? A plus B. So now system performs 10 plus 20 and assign the output to LV20. Press F5. Now my system LV output is equal to 30. So it is completed executing the statement and it got 30 saved into my LV output. Now this is my last line of my program. Okay, here, so see carefully, this is my last program. Now if I press F5, there is nothing to do here, right? So this is here, it is a write command. So now I'm pressing F5. So now see, I got the output as 30 because it is my end of my program, so nothing there to do, so it came out of the program. Okay, now we need to press on exit symbol. If you click on exit symbol, again you are going to some debugging screen, because after execution of program, system will clear all the buffer saved values. So that's why it came to here. Just now we need to press on F8. Okay, now we need to press on F8 because there is nothing to debug now. So just click on F8. um, Click on F8. So if we click on F8, we come to the normal screen of our program. That's it. So this is how we do debugging here. So is it clear how we do debugging here? how to start debugging. So what I
Yeah.
did, I just went to starting of my program. I clicked on execute debugging. So it came to my starting of my program. From there, I pressed on F5, F5, F5. I went to debugging. This is one way of debugging. So another way of debugging is open the program. Earlier we did without opening the program. Now I opened the program. I want my program execution to be stopped at this particular line. Okay, don't execute at this particular line. I want my program executions to be stopped. That time I need to give breakpoint here. So SAP given two different breakpoints. So one is session breakpoint, another one is external breakpoint. Okay, now let's learn about the session breakpoint first. Okay, just you can click on this yellow color at line number 17.
So, Srinivas, 1 second.
Mm.
Can you please explain that breakpoints? I mean, what are the, you said two types, right? Two types, right?
Yeah.
At the time, voice was broken.
Okay, we have two types: session breakpoint.
Okay.
Another one is external breakpoint. Okay, so
Okay.
we see about
Okay.
external breakpoint later. Now learn about the session breakpoint. Okay, so session means I am in the same session. I am here. Okay, now I am clicking on this yellow part. Okay, on the yellow side at line number 17. If I click on it, then I got a symbol called here stop. And see, when I put my cursor, it is clearly telling it is a session breakpoint. Okay, so session breakpoints will be deleted. For example, if I came out, if I'm going back again to the screen, it is still there. But for example, slash NEX, my session got closed. I'm logging into screen again. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, SC38, going to program display. Do I have my breakpoint here? No, right? So session means till the session is active, you can see the breakpoint. Clear? Now what I am going to do is I am giving my external breakpoint here. So the difference between how to set in session breakpoint, external breakpoint is session breakpoint. I clicked here on the yellow mark, then the breakpoint came. If I click on again on the button on this yellow part, then it will be disappear. So this is how we set the session breakpoint. We clear the session breakpoint. Okay. But coming to this external breakpoint, how we need to put? We need to select the line. Just click on the line where you want to cursor. Your cursor should be on the line where you want to set your session breakpoint, external breakpoint. After giving cursor on your line, keeping your cursor on the line, then click on the session breakpoint. Then you will get this symbol here. If you want to remove this external breakpoint, then again click on the symbol. Then it will be turned off. Okay. To turn on, put your cursor on the line where you want your external breakpoint. Click on the symbol external breakpoint. Then you will get the external breakpoint. To turn off, again click on the symbol. It will be turned off. Clear how to set session breakpoint and external breakpoint? There is a
Yeah.
difference. Okay. If you click on the yellow mark, it's always session breakpoint. If you get external breakpoint, you should click on the symbol.
If we come out from the session, if we keep execute breakpoint, okay.
Coming to that topic, let's see. Okay, so I set my external breakpoint and I am logging out my system. Okay, now let's go back to the system again. Man, welcome 1, 2, 3, SC38 display. You see, breakpoint is there. Hmm? So external breakpoints won't go by default. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing.
In real time, what is the breakpoint? I mean, Pepper can use.
I have so many places. I will tell you. Come one by one.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
here, check one. Listen one more time. Just here, I want to tell. So when you're keeping the session external breakpoint, okay, check the below status. Here we are getting status, right? Um, Let's see it carefully. I am clicking on the session external breakpoint. See, breakpoint was set to external debugging. Okay, validity. What is this validity? So this breakpoint will be validity for only 2 hours. It means even though you close the session, this breakpoint will be placed till 2 hours. Okay, after 2 hours, system will delete this breakpoint. Clear? Session breakpoint will be deleted immediately when you close the session. Okay, external breakpoint will be deleted after 2 hours of your setting if you are not using. Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, done. Fine. So when we are the initial space, when we are learning this, external breakpoints are not required to us. Session breakpoints are fine. So I kept my session breakpoint at line number 17. Now, no need to go back to the original screen. I can execute my program from here also. I am clicking on execute, direct processing. So nowhere I am telling execute in debugging mode. I am generally executing my program. It's a direct processing. When it is executing, since there is a breakpoint here, system stop executing at this point. Okay, even though I'm executing this program normally, since there is a breakpoint placed at this line, system stop executing here and it comes to my ABAP debugging screen. Clear? So now at this point, now if I double click on this LV underscore A, I can see it is having 10 value here. I'm going to desktop 3 and I can see what is there in LVB here. And currently our LV underscore output is having 0 value because line not yet executed. Now I can press F5. Now it is 30. I can click on continue. Done. Okay. So this is how session breakpoint works. So when we set session breakpoint, then no need to go to back to the original program and click on debugging screen. Just you can execute the program normally. Then automatically the system will stop at the breakpoint you placed. Okay. Because if you have 1,000 lines and you want to stop at line 990 line, then no need to go all the lines continuously F5. You can put a session breakpoint at 990 line and execute your program. Your program will execute all the 990 lines, then it will stop at a line 90 line number 990. Okay, clear so far?
Yes, clear, Sinus.
Okay, so now I finished debugging also, but you will get to learn more things in debugging. But now you people know how to do debugging also. Okay.
Yes. I mean, what about this F6 and F7?
We keep when we go to that particular topic, we can.
Okay.
At this point of time, it is
Yeah.
difficult to explain that F6 and all, so that's why I'm
Okay.
not touching it. Okay, but
Okay.
each and every program, whatever we are writing, we do debugging and we see how it is working line by line. Okay,
Okay.
so integer is completed. Now I'm going to. Okay, what I do is I will make a copy of this program. Let me programs. Okay, addition of two numbers. Never copy your program from this sheet into your program. Okay, never do that because this is just for your reference only. Whenever you are practicing it, always type with your own hands. Okay, never try to copy this program and paste on your SE38 and then check how it is working. If you do that way, you can never learn ABAP. Okay, you have to type on your own on system, then only you can learn ABAP. Clear? Don't go
Okay.
with for shortcuts. Okay, so now this is a simple program of A plus B. Okay, now see how it is A by B, A into B. So all commands are common. A plus B, A into B, everything is common. Okay, but now let's see a simple program and commenting. Okay, now I want to do A plus B into C. So this is what I want to do now. Okay. Here, this is a comment. I want to comment this line. So how to comment a line in ABAP means by prefixing the line with two backslashes like this. No, sorry, stars here. Sorry. That's why this is a issue with multiple programming languages. So star, okay. I need to prefix with the star, and this star should be at a line position 0. Okay, and now one more point I am going to tell. So when we put our cursor anywhere on our screen, we can tell our cursor is at what position. Currently, I'm keeping my cursor after my program name. So I want to now define my coordinates of my cursor. So how I can define? So it is at a line number, see here on the right side bottom, line 8 column 21. So my cursor is at line 8 column 21. Now if I put my cursor at line number 19, end of the line number 19, now my cursor is at line number 19 column 25. See, these are the coordinates of my cursor. Okay. So in order to comment any line, your star symbol should be at column 1. Sorry, column, this is, yeah, column 1, first position. If you put the star somewhere in after second column or third column, then this is not commenting. Okay. To comment any line, you should keep your star symbol at the start of line. Then only it consider it as a commenting line. Clear? Is it clear?
Clear.
So this is important because sometimes people will keep it somewhere and they will. Okay. So this is and this when we put star on start of this line, it means I am commenting the entire line. Okay. But for example, if I want to write a comment next to this line to understand what I'm doing here. Okay. For example, take time number 19. I am doing here a plus b. Now I want to write a comment here saying that I am doing a plus b at this line. So how to write comment here? So now here you need to write double slash um, performing summation. Okay. If you want to write comment after someplace after first position, after some executable code, then you have to write double slash backward slash 2 times. Okay. Then system consider it as a comment. If you don't keep this double slash, then system performs. This is some if you click on check button, see performing, it don't know. But if I give this symbol, system ignore now that. Oh my god, one second, sorry. Why it is not just a minute second. What happened? This way only, right? Yeah, I forgot actually how to do this. So sometimes some things I forgot suddenly, but I don't know.
Can we write that? I mean, performing summation in above line in 18 by keeping star at the starting.
Mind, star we can write it. That is not a problem.
Yeah, comment.
Yeah, we can comment like this, performing summation. But we can write comment after this also. I don't know why
Okay.
suddenly I forgot this thing. Okay, I will tell you tomorrow. Okay, I don't know
Okay.
suddenly what happened. This is my problem. Okay, so I will tell you tomorrow how to write a comment after a line, after writing some executable code. is also not there. Okay, if tomorrow I will see. I don't want to waste time now. Okay, clicking on check, activate this button, activate. So perform summation. So this is the how we do commenting. Okay, so let me take this also commenting. So commenting. How to comment in an executable and execute. Okay, so this is open actually. That's why I get when why I'm writing all this topic means when you go later, when you read each line, you should know whether you are able to work on these things or not. Okay, that's why it acts like a course content. Hmm. Okay. So I am going to my program again. So now you know. Okay, now my next task is to do a plus b into c. Okay, so let's see how we can write it. So in order to do this, I should have another variable called c. So I'm going here lv underscore c type I comma here I need to define another variable lv underscore c equal to 30. Okay, and now I need to perform brackets. So why I taken this example means I want to show you how we define this. Here also specifying brackets are very important. See here, when I am taking brackets, when I am keeping brackets here, a plus b into c, everywhere I need to keep spaces. If I click on check mark now, see there is no error. So when we keep brackets also, it is very mandatory to keep a space between each and every bracket. Okay. So if I remove one space here, see I can see red color here, right? So while keeping brackets also, you should make sure if you have 1,000 lines code, at somewhere you miss this space, the system will show you an error message. But if there is an error message, for example, there is an error message. When I click on check button, now see it is telling me at line number 22. So I can come directly to 22. And what it is saying, incorrect arithmetic expression, bracket expected, not bracket comma. It means it is what it is telling. I am expecting only bracket, but you given bracket and a star. So which is not a correct combination. If you correct it, then you can change it. So I think you know, right, how to see at what line you are getting error message. Hmm? This is how you can understand at what line you are getting error message. So execute it, then you can get the output 900. Okay, so this is how we work on arithmetic operations. And what happens if I do a by b? Here instead of writing into, I am keeping by here and then activating this program. I am executing this. I am getting 1. So how it is 1 actually? What is this a plus b? 10 plus 20. How much it is? 30, right? Oh, 30 by 30 now. Okay, let's take it as 40. Okay, activate it. So what is 30 by 40? Difficult. We can't tell easily, but we can tell here. 30 divided by 40. What is my output? 0.75. Let's see what it is giving here. It's giving 1. How it is 1? 0.75, right? So why it is 1 means the output what we are saving here, the output of this one we are saving in lv underscore output variable, and this lv underscore output is of what type? Integer. Will integer can save a decimal value? No, right? So integer can't save a decimal value. So what it will do, integer, the decimal value will be rounded to the nearest integer. So you know, right, whenever it is more than 0.5, we can round it to the plus next plus 1. So 0.75 divided by, sorry, when we round it now, what will happen? It's nearly to 1. So that's why system is giving 1. Let's do this 30 divided by 50. No, 30 divided by 60. No, let's take 70. Okay, let's take this also 0.5. Let's see what it is doing. If it is exactly 0.5, is it giving 1 or 0? So it is giving 1. Whenever it is more than 0.5 or greater than 0.5, it is giving 1. Now if I take 70, let's see what it is doing. You got 0. Why? Because when I divide 30 with 70, it is 0.42. So which is when since it is less than 0.5, it is giving rounded to backward direction and it is giving 0 here. So clear so far? Huh?
Yeah. In this LV underscore output type, we need to change. I mean, here we should not give I, right? We should give D decimal.
Decimal. But
Type D.
thing is, see, it's up to our requirement. Okay, it's up to our
Okay.
requirement. If you want a integer number out of it, then you have to give it define it as an I. If you give it decimal, it always comes as a decimal point, and if some places will be there, like for example, uh, where exactly I can tell.
Can you keep D instead of I in the output?
No. Decimals are not that easy to define like D. Okay, if I give decimal D, then see, no, D is of type date type. Okay, D is not decimal here. So decimal
Okay.
parameters
DC.
are defined with the P parameter.
Oh, okay.
So when you want help from SAP on the data types and all, you can type F1. See, I kept my cursor next to P and I pressed F1 button. Now see what help I am getting from system. So sometimes it's not mandatory for us to remember all things, right? So we forget sometimes. So when we forget sometimes, we need help from SAP help also to give some idea of how to use a particular keyword. Mm. So I like to take help from SAP most of the times. I pressed on F1, so SAP is loading that help functionality. Let's see. So you're able to follow, right? What I'm telling? Is it clear so far?
Yeah. I mean, you will explain about this. I mean, about this decimal and characteristic and string as well, right?
Yes.
After this one, after integer.
Yes.
Okay. But we have to write this declaration part according to our business requirement.
Yes. So this is ABAP part.
But
Okay.
but how can we know? How can we know whether? One second, please. How can we know whether we want to go for integer or decimal or string? How can we know that?
Okay. We come to that part also. Okay. Because in if you
Okay.
are
Okay.
working on BW environment, you never define variables with IP, something like this. Okay. Because in
Okay.
BW, everything you save in info object level, right? Info object is the smallest granularity in our
Yes.
BW. Okay. So when you write a program, when you write a
Correct.
transformation, you always read data from some column of info object type only, right? Hmm. So we always use info objects as a reference here. So I will teach you that also in coming time. In coming.
Okay.
Okay. Since this is basics, you just want to learn this. That's why. Okay. See, if you want anything of decimal type, see, it you have to type of type P, length 2, decimals 2. You have to define in this way. Okay. So if you forgot sometime how to define a decimal type in here, then you go to SAP help and SAP help will help you to give this. And this is the information you see, value range. if you define a variable of value type I, then this particular I can save a value between this range. Okay, if you define a variable of type P, then this can save value of between this range. Very huge, not no need to remember also. This is out of it. Okay, here you need to define length 2, decimals 2. Okay,
Decimals. Okay. Okay.
activate, execute. Now you see 0.43. If you keep decimals 5, activate, execute. Overflow of arithmetic operation. Okay, sorry.
How we know we want to give length 2 or 3 there?
It's up to our requirement only.
Okay.
Okay, I will tell you what's the issue. So what happened is earlier I given length 2 decimals 5, right? Actually decimals will take from here only. Okay. Okay, we come to this, but see, length 7. Out of this 7, I am taking 5 places for decimals. Okay.
Okay. Total output, total length,
This
right?
length is output 10. Out of it, I am
Okay.
allocating 5 for decimals. Okay.
5 for decimals. I mean, after dot.
Yes.
After dot is decimals.
Yes.
So, I mean, we have given 3 places for decimals.
Yes.
Okay.
Now decimals 3 means 0.473.
Okay, whatever the length we want to give, I mean, if we give the decimals 3 or 7, so it will give the, I mean, the decimals after dot.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Same thing even in other cases also. Okay. Now, till now you remember these things, right? Now, integer. Um, okay, this is of when you want to define a variable of type decimal, then you have to do it in this way. Okay. Now let's change this to. Okay, then let's keep it like this only 7, 3 for now, and change the remaining also. Instead of I, change the remaining also to decimal. Okay. So this is of type. All these are of type decimal. So when it is decimal, activate. Okay. Try to debug this now. I'm giving my breakpoint at this place. Clicking on execute. So did I say currently I am at line number 17? So do I have any value currently assigned to LVWA? No, right? My local variable. See, the default value also it is showing in decimal format only, right? I am assigning now
Okay.
10, which is of type integer, but you see it is taking it as 10.000, and LVB is of I am assigning integer, but system when I assign value it is kind of changing it to decimal only. Okay, this is called typecasting. Even though you assign an integer, system will save it as a decimal place because we define it as a decimal places. Okay, this is one thing. And next important thing is if you want to pass a decimal point here 10.5, okay, then you can't pass it just like a number, integer number. You have to include within single quote, then only system will consider it as a decimal number, or else it will throw an error message. Okay, so 10.5, 20.5. So whatever the decimal number it will be, you have to give in this way only. Pretty printer. Check. Activate. Now let's debug this. Execute. So LV underscore A currently containing 0, and let's take LVB also, LVC also, LV output also. Go to desktop 3 to have a clear view. Now I'm pressing F5. It is having 10.500, 20.500, and LVC. Now see here, I given to 70.23456, and I defined decimal places as 3 places. So, but I tried to pass more than 3 places here. Then what system is doing? It is rounding these decimals to 3 places only. So at my fourth place, I have 5, right? Then what it done? What it did? It rounded this 5 to the before one, and it saving it as 235. Clear? So this is not a very important to learn, but it gives you an idea how system behaving. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. It's so it's a simple, like it's not a big matter also. We never see in this much granular level in real time, but you have to understand how system behaves, and when we go to debugging mode, how we can see small things also in a clear way. Okay, so that is what my intention of telling you all these small things also. Okay, so while
Okay.
you debugging it, you can observe each and every line, how it is working, how it is saving in each variable, so that it is helpful for you to debug anything. Okay, to understand if there are any issues or all in the code, any errors are coming and all, you can identify it. That's it. So this is how we define where integers, how we define decimals. So if you are good with this now, we can go to the now character type. So I will explain character type, and then we can close the session for today. Okay, so that you can practice. This is very basics. So if you can practice 2 hours at least today, I will give you exercise also what to practice. Okay. So if you are able to practice the exercises which I assigned you today, then from tomorrow we can continue further. Is it okay?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So now my last copy here. Working with the decimal type. Okay. Next. Data LV underscore name. Okay. Type. So currently what now my requirement. So always think about a requirement, then try to write a code. Okay. So my requirement is to print my name on my console output screen. Okay. To print my name, first initially what I can do, a simple way is writing write command. Write Srinivas. Okay. That's it. If I ask you to print your name on console, you can write this write command. Done. Completed. Task completed. Okay. This is one way. The other way is write your name on console by saving it in a local variable. Then this comes under picture. Okay. So when I am defining a local variable to save my name, okay, I need to define it of type C. C means character. Okay, C is a data type to save data of type characters. So Srinivas is a name, set of characters, right? No need to tell. But here the important point is we need to define the length also. So what is your length of my name? So let's take it as 20. So it's up to, it's actually the, as per the requirement, we give the length. Okay. In BW, since you are from BW, you know what is the length of material? 18, right? What is the length of customer code? 10. So the material is an info object. in BW, which SAP defining the max length is 18. So we are following the same. And whenever customer info object, SAP defined a standard info object of length 10. So whenever you see a customer number, it is of length 10, right? Same way here. So when here name, currently I am defining my name is max of length 20. Okay, so I am giving here max length 20, and now it is of type C. Now how to now I am writing my variable name and writing a assignment operator here and giving my name in single quotes, full stop. And now I want to print my name on the console. So I'm using write command to write my name on the output screen. Activate, execute. Now I got my name on the console. So clear so far here. So to define a variable which saves characters, then I need to define that variable of type C, and at the same time, after the variable name, I should specify the length of the variable also. If it is an integer, then no need to define any length. But for decimal places, for decimal type, we are defining the length and decimal. Same way for character also, we need to define the length of it. Okay, clear so far?
Srinivas.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Now next thing, but you don't want to define this length. So there are two ways. Character string, you know, right? Character means A, B, C, D. When we take a single alphabets, we will call it as a characters. Okay, and a set of characters, we call it as a string, right? Set of characters, we call it as a string. So SAP given another data type called string. Okay, so data LV underscore country type string. See, when I click on check button, there is no syntax error. String means I am telling it is a set of characters. When you define a field with of type string, then there is no need to specify the length. If you want to specify the length, then you have to specify it with the data type C and specify the length also within the brackets after the variable name. But for some flexible point of view, if you want to define a variable of type, if you are defining a variable of type string, then there is no need to specify the length of it. So now I want to save my country name here under this variable. Country is equal to India. Okay. Then write LV underscore country. Okay. I'm writing country name. Activate. Execute. See, Srinivas came, India came. So on character data type, we have two different data types. One is of type C, which can be defined by giving the length of the variable. Okay, and you can define it as a with string also. And when you're defining a variable with string, then there is no need to define the length of the variable. Clear so far? Hmm? And most of the places we use both things. Okay, when we use both things. Okay. um, okay, I come to that point. Okay, clear so far at till this point?
Yes.
And if there are some string operations are there, okay, and character data type, there is nothing much to learn. If you know how to define data type of type C, then it is okay and remaining. But if when we comes to string data type, now we have few things to learn. There are string functions are there, which are very important. That point I am going to cover now. Okay, now let's take this example like this. Copy. Working with character type and string type. Okay. Done. Save this one. Go back here. So let's take a new program now, a new thing from data lv underscore country type string. I'm defining a variable lv underscore country of type string, and now in this country I'm saving my country name India. Okay. So I'm writing this country name on the output. So this is a very simple program in ABAP. Okay. Now we can do some operations here. I want to convert this capital. Let me give it this in small letters. Now when if I print this on output, I will get the output how I am saving here. India came in small letters. But while printing it, I want to convert this into capital letters. Okay. So how I can do it? So there is a command called LV upper, sorry, upper, I think, upper to upper, upper string functions. 1 second, please. I forgot this. Mm, 1 second. I forgot that count. Mm, Here I can find all string functions. String binary. Here I can search upper to upper. No, this string functions. I want upper. Mm, I think this is only we have. Okay, fine. Uppercase. So here what I can do, I can write translate lv underscore country to uppercase. Okay. Then no need of writing functions here. There is some functions also. String functions are there actually. So functions. Okay, fine. We don't need to waste time now, but it's enough, okay, for you. So now what happened? What I did here, I'm clicking on Pretty Printer. Now all my keywords will be turned into capital letters and to upper, and clicking on check mark and clicking on activate button. Executed. Now initially I saved India as a local variable in in small letters in my variable. Okay, but after that what I written a command called translate to uppercase. So what it will do is it will convert my small letters into capital letters. So if I execute this program, see now India came in my capital letters. Okay, so this is one program. So now take another one. Now define another variable lv underscore name type string. So in lv name assign some name. Let's take Srinivas. Okay, now write lv translate. So whenever you write tra, system is proposing these hints, right? If you click on tab, then automatically you can get that word here without typing. Okay, tab. When you see that hint, you need to click on tab. Translate LV underscore name to uppercase, right? LV underscore name. And if I given one small letters, capital letter, and like this also fine. Activate, execute. See, India, Srinivas. But what happening here is India and Srinivas both are coming next to next, one after another, right? So I want to see both in a different lines, okay? Because these are two different strings. I want to see both in different lines. So how I can do that? So while writing this write command, if you prefix one backslash, okay, which is nothing but new line operator, then if you click on activate, execute, then you see Srinivas is coming under second line. So what I did? I written one backslash here. So which means writing it in a new line, which is called new line character. Whenever your system finds this, then system try to write this statement on a new line instead of continuing with the old line. Clear so far? Hello, clear?
Yeah, clear, Srinivas.
So now I am writing Srinivas in capital letters and I want to convert it into lowercase. Okay. Now what? Now see, activate. So this is important. This statement is important. Why it is important? When you are getting data from ECC in a multiple ways, like which is having a combination of both small letters and capital letters, and but your info object always accepts the capital letters. Then what you have to do? You have to convert the string into capital letters. So to convert it, then you can use this statement to convert that data into full capital letters, and then you can save it in our info object. Clear? So this is one of the useful statement that we can use in our day-to-day our workplace. Clear? So this is one thing. And one more. So I'm writing here. What are the statements, functions we are writing? One is translate. Translate to upper or lowercase. Now next, what we are going to learn is count. Okay. Count letters. So you want to count how many letters are here. Okay, next. So to save the count, I need to define a variable lv underscore count, type I. Okay, now lv underscore count is equal to count of lv underscore name. And check any syntax errors are there or not. Oh, lv underscore name not expected. No, no. LV name not expected. Why it is LV name? 1 second. I forgot all these functions. Count. Built-in function. See, this is how we can get a string functions count, find and match. Count of. Why it is not working here? Actually, it should work. But no count. Why it is giving like this? Count. String length. Oh, sorry. Not count. String length. See. String length. strlen. Sorry. string length. Okay, so finding string length. Okay, LV name, right? Um, then instead of this word is not correct, then L not counting here we need to use L underscore length. Hmm? String underscore length. Now here also string underscore length, right? LV underscore string underscore length. Now to get this length on a different line, I need to write backslash here, activate, exit. So my string Srinivas is of length 8. Clear so far? Is it clear? Are you there?
I mean, for this string length, there we need to use keyword str length, right?
Yeah, str length. So str length is a keyword, and after this, important point is there is no space. Since it is of type function, when we are calling functions, after function name there is no space. It will be followed by bracket. But after bracket, we need to give a space followed by the variable name, and then again space, end the bracket, and then full stop. So string length is a function which finds the, it's a string function which finds the length of a string. So it will, whatever maybe the length here, it will find the length and it will give us. Clear?
Oh, okay.
So one more important, the last one for today is offset. Okay, so that offset. Offset is another important functionality. Okay, which we are using, which we use regularly in our codes. Okay, let's take these two as one example. Copy. Working. String functions. Okay. Next. So the last one topic here, offset. Offset is very important. Using offset. Most of the time, if we are not dealing this offset properly, we will get errors in our code. Okay, dumps while executing it. At check time, you won't find any issue, but while executing the program, you will get errors. Okay, so let's take a data. Okay, lv underscore date type C. I'm taking currently it is of type C only. So I'm taking a string of length 8. Okay. On this, I'm going to save my date, today's date. Okay. LV underscore date is equal to 2009 20, sorry, 2020 0, oh my God, 0801. Okay. So this is today's date. Okay. Now from this date, now I want to take my year. Okay, from this is a date, and from this date I want to print year on the output screen. So write lv underscore date, within the brackets I need to give 4. Let me click on check first, activate. So what is this, how it works? So here I given my variable name. After variable name, within the brackets I am giving 4. So what it means is, from starting position of my variable, read first 4 characters. Okay, so this is the output of this one. Click on execute. See, I got 2020. So if I debug this one, execute, desktop. So on LV date, I am having value of my today's date. Okay. While printing, I am taking first characters. So I am not changing the data in the LV date variable, but while printing only, I am considering first 4 characters from my date. You see, for example, LV underscore date of 2. If I giving like this, then see I am getting 20. Clear here what I am trying to say? Are you clear with this?
Yes, yes.
Now let's
I mean, can we give zero of 4 there? I mean, LV underscore date 0
no,
of 4.
it's not directly 0. If you want to give some offset here, plus 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 directly um, no, plus. See, offset, when you are giving some 0, this is called offset, so you need to give some symbol plus before it. Okay, it means what I am trying to say is from 0th position read 4 characters. So from 0th position it is reading 4 characters. Let's take the same thing. Let's try to get the month from this date. Okay, LV date of 4 and 2. Length is of 2 length, right? Length is of like length 2 characters. So I am giving. So after year is occupying first 4 characters. So from 4th character read 2. Now see 08 I got. It means from 4th character it is reading 2 characters. So it is excluding 4 characters from the starting, and it is taking the next 2 characters. If I want to take date from here, so 4 for length, 4 for year, 2 for month, so 6. So from 7th and from first 6 characters I need to exclude. So give plus, exclude 6 characters, and from 6th character read 2. Now you see I got 01. Clear?
Yeah.
So this is
Here, without giving plus also, we will get that value, right?
no.
Okay.
See,
No. Okay.
giving error. See invalid statement.
Okay. For the year only, we will get or what? I mean, here
There
we
is
have
no
given
prefix
second line.
because there is no offset before, right? So it is fine.
Oh, yeah.
If you are
Okay.
specifying
Okay.
some number before it, then you need to specify plus mandatory.
Okay.
That is the difference between these two. Okay. Now what we can define here? So let's define LV underscore date, LV underscore year of length 4 type C. Here it is not good to define this variable as a string, because year is always having max of length 4. If you know the length of a variable, then you have to define using this character data type only. If you don't know how much length maybe I am going to save in this variable, then you have to go to string type. Clear? Okay, I defined 3 variables, year, date, month, and I kept like this. So instead of writing this write statement here, what I am going to do, I am trying to save it in a what happened to it? Okay. So LV underscore year.
Declaration, it was LV underscore date is already declared.
Uh,
Can you give another
no. This is a
underscore?
declaration. Two are there, no? Date.
Yeah. Date one.
Okay. So LV date is equal to 2020-08. LV year is equal to LV date of 4. LV underscore month is equal to LV underscore date plus 4 of 2. Okay. LV underscore day is equal to LV underscore date plus 6 of 2. That's it. Okay. Right. LV underscore year. Sorry. Right. LV underscore month. But if I write like this, all 3 will come one after another. So in order to make them come in different line, I need to add a new line operator after each. Okay. If I want to print my date also before this, date, activate, execute.
Here, without writing, write multiple times. Can we use in one line? Can we use this statement in
We
one
can
line?
write it, but it's better to have like this only. I will
Okay,
show you.
okay, fine. Yeah.
But because write statements, we always write different places. Here I am writing this way because to show it
Okay.
differently. Uh, execute 2028 1. You see, it's coming correctly. And let's give this activate, execute. Hmm. Hmm. So what happened? LV date of type 8, okay, and here I forgot to given my number, day number 01, okay, and means even though it is of length 8, I passed only of 6 characters here. So when I write, what is the output here? First characters, first 4 it is taking as year, and second 2 characters it is taking as month, but day is coming blank. Why? Because there is no characters
Okay.
here. Okay, let's see it in debugging mode. Execute. F5, F5. So date is of length is, okay, length is 8, but it is having only 6 characters. When it is reading year, month, day, so 2008, since it is not able to get from 6 of 2 characters, it is 0, then it is giving in this way. Fine. What will happen if I give in 6 and I give in 01? Hmm. So when you are defining offset on your program, okay, if you are trying to read something wrongly at offset, see at line number 21, I am getting error. Okay, offset specification plus 6 is greater than or equal to field length 6. Okay, what the problem is, I defined my date of length 6 only, but while doing assignment there is no problem. But here I am giving 6 plus 2, it means it is telling 8 characters is my length of the date, right? But I defined my date as 6 characters. So syntactically itself, system is checking this and it is telling, okay, what you given here is wrong. The max length of date is 6, but you are trying to read 8 characters from the date, so which is not possible. So that is what the error we are getting here. Clear? Are you clear with this error message?
This is here, yeah, in the top we need to give data length
8.
as 8, right?
So
Yeah.
when, if while writing
Okay.
offset, if you did something wrong also, like adding 1 plus something like this, the system will correct you if you are doing wrongly here.
Okay.
Okay, activate. That's it. So this is enough for today. You have to practice. Now let's write some exercises on your sheet. Then let's go further. Tomorrow we continue. So till this point you are able to follow, right? No issues in understanding point of view, right? All topics are clear.
Yes.
So now it's a time for you to practice it. Hmm. Here under documents, there is a folder called as Srinivas BWF app sessions. Here there is a course content. In course content you find programs also. Okay, and I will create another Excel sheet. Okay, uh, assignments. Okay, in the assignment sheet I will give assignments to you. Okay, this is
Okay.
day 1 assignment, day 1, and here we can write date also, on which date we covered which one. So on day 1 session I covered all this. Okay, day 1, sorry, day 1, data type not yet covered, and we will cover also in the coming session. So all these working on character data types, string functions. Okay, data types I'm not yet covered. So these are all covered on day 1. So now on all these, now we will do some exercises. No. So assignment, first assignment. Write a program to print your name on output screen. So you have to write program, and you have to copy the code in a Word document and send on a mail to me. Okay, I want to review your code. So that way
Okay.
only I can get to know you written your program. Okay, write a program, and both programs should not be same. You and Ramanujan. Okay,
Okay.
write a program to um, to perform A plus B into A plus C. Okay, I want a program to perform A plus B into A plus C. Okay, write a program to perform A into B. ఇది ఏంటిది? అమ్మని గుచ్చమని ఇక్కడ రాదు, డాట్ పెట్టమని. A into B plus A into D divided by C. Okay, so write a program to perform to find length of your name. Okay, write a program to find length of length of string name. Okay, you have to write a program to find the length of the string. Okay, I am from India is a string. You want to find the length of this string. Okay,
Okay.
next, write a program to convert the string into uppercase. Okay, and the string is this. So let me take this. Yes. To convert the string into uppercase. Okay, into all uppercase. Same thing, write a program to convert the string to all lowercase. Okay, next, write a program to to find to get first 3 letters from your name. Okay, I want first 3 letters only from your name. Okay,
Okay.
write a program to get 4th and 5th character. 5th characters from your name. So this is on. And what else topics we covered today? Debugging string functions and all. Okay. To upper, okay, arithmetic operations we covered. Right keyword. Okay. So if you can